You like your landscapes to feel like they are believable, like they put you there without having to paint every single detail, then join me to paint this Tuscany-inspired landscape with everything else about the light and shadow and how to create a characteristic haze. And then if you stick to the end, I will also show you how to put the shadow that puts the whole painting together. So grab your brushes and let's start painting. We're gonna start with the sky because the sky is going to set the haze for everything that comes after. So I'm waiting the sky. If you wanna paint alone, the tracing and reference are on my Patreon. I'm gonna leave the link down in the description. With compositions like this that have a lot of depth, sometimes it's easier if you don't have to guess how to do the drawing. I'm making a gray with French Ultramarine and Bronze Sienna. This is my go-to gray. Maybe a little bit more of on the blue. We want to have a little opening here. Now we come with a brush that only has water and then a little blend. So a lot of this blending will happen naturally if we leave it alone. So that's what I'm gonna do now. Green gold, yes, it's bright, and I usually tell you not to go too bright when things are in the distance. But we're gonna come with a lot of grays, and I'll show you in a minute. So it will, the grays will mute these greens quite a bit. This is gonna help us create some of the haze that we going after. All right, let it dry. All right, making grays, French Ultramarine, Bronze Sienna, and this is my go-to. And different strains, you can have more water or less water. We're gonna be using all this to create the haze on the distance fields. See how beautifully our sky has dried? Just with enough little details. Okay, one brush with color, and now I'm gonna get myself another brush with water, and let's get started. We're gonna start by putting some color, but it has to be light and soft. I can go ahead and move to this other one here. I want this one lighter. So another way that you can do it too, and it's good, is wet it first. Wet it ahead of time. Drop my color, and then once again I just light it up by bringing it with the tip of my brush, and also because of the wetness that I apply ahead of time. Okay, so I have one over here. I'm gonna wet and the shadow. So I go. This is where it's gonna be the darkest, all the way here. I bring in it where I wet. And then I bring the darker colors. These bumps are kind of like pretending if they are distant trees. There you go. Okay. And now with the one that only has water, I'm gonna blend this up. So my green gold is not so bright. It still has the feeling that this part is where the sun is hitting. But by bringing some of my gray in, I'm killing, if you will, the brightness. So that is going to help it be pushed farther away. Put some darks. Then I go with water. I allow some of them, you know, the hazy color, like means some of these other ones come through. And that's how I keep building. That's how I keep building the distance. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit so you get to see it. And by doing this, our fields and our haze are already appearing. Some areas we want to have like the sun, now as I get closer, totally showing the green gold, so that a sense of haze on a summer day. Right, so this is dry, and before I start waiting to do the foreground, I'm gonna go with my kneaded eraser, and I'm gonna lighten up some of these lines. I do want them there, that's why I draw them, but I do want them to be less strong. Once I put the color, it's hard to do this. Showing you this, if you want to get the drawings and the Patreon, please do a little bit of this as well. I'm coming from that one to here to all the foreground. And we're gonna use the green gold again. That's what I wetted so that I have a little bit of extra time. Indian yellow and gold green, so it has a little bit more brightness. Because after all, these colors are closer to us, so oops, let me put it like this. They should be brighter than the ones that they were behind. What I do is with my gold green now only. This is all of this is going to be in shadow, but I want to have a little same thing, you know, a little bit of picking. That is what is going to give us the impression of the sun. So let's just cover it up with this color first, and then we will go with the dark. I want to have this light that's kind of bothering me, so we're going to come here with a little bit of a brownish, burnt sienna, burnt umber, and actually. Well, I'm going to start with this, and then I'm probably going to bring some olive green too, because there's actually a lot of greens in this painting too. So all of this is going to be dark. The one I just got a little bit of raw sienna into my my gray colors, just to warm it up a little bit. This will have a few more details, as you can see in my drawing. I already put a few, but they will go afterwards. Okay, right now I just filling all of this up with this color again, gray with raw sienna. We're gonna get it a little bit warmer, closer, so warmer. So instead of using gray, I'm using olive green. So I'm coming here. This is pretty dark, okay, and then we're gonna separate this field. This field is gonna be lighter. So, now. Over here, it's going to be the gold green and the olive green, lighter over there, and all of these will be darker. So now, go with that. Go with water. Blend my light colors first before I bring the darker colors, which I'm going to bring in a minute. Green gold, I mean the olive green again. Again, I pretend that these are trees sticking up in the distance, same thing that we did here. And then we go like that, and now we blend these two. Okay, so now I'm coming back with the gold green and a little of the neutral tint. My darker color, that is green gold with neutral tint, we will have a very hard edge right here. We are separating fields, like making those even farther, some closer. This big field here behind, we're gonna have a little line, so from here to here, this we wanna have it like the gold is darker, and it's gonna bring everything forward. This one needs to be pretty dark. I mean, same colors, but less water. Okay. And then I'm going into the opposite direction so that I can have that glow. Olive greens, gold green, and neutral tint, meaning the darkest of all. This is still wet, so let's just bring it down. These are trees. I'm bringing indigo with olive green. And these are going to be just shapes, okay? All I had to do is like fill it up, because it is like if you go against the window, right? Everything gets dark. Well, the light is coming from there, so all these things right here are just dark. I go a little bit zigzagging onto the edges, and that is enough for our eyes to make it like if it is a tree. So I wet here a little bit. Then I come with Indian yellow and olive green. And then I put some of them over here. This will get darker here. It will be even darker, but for the moment being, I'm just gonna put that one. Okay, and then we're gonna blend these ones down. Before I keep going with this, once we put this, everything is gonna come together. I wanna put the details on this little church over here. Dark browns with a little bit of, that I made with burnt sienna. burnt umber. And I added some French ultramarine so that it can get darker. So I'm going darker over there, and then I'm going darker on these two lines. One in the middle, right? And then we do like an arch. So arch, arch, and then find the middle, the center here, and they go down, and they go down. With black, I'm gonna fill this circle right here, the inner circle. I'm putting the darkest colors first so that I know how dark or light to go on the surrounding ones. So that goes there, and then the door is also gonna be pretty dark. So that's what, for these two I'm using black. So I come now with grays. Once this is dry, we will come and put a shadow underneath there and a couple shadows around here too. I need to do so that I can go ahead and start anchor these alongside the tree. And we will put a bigger, thicker shadow here in a minute. But now that we got that, Indian yellow with a little bit of olive green. I put a little, just to make it look like they are more rolling hills, like this. So I go like that, come with water. Go with water in that end, then come with water in this other end too. Let's bring green gold, bring it over here, but now I'm switching and I'm gonna bring to that green gold, I'm gonna bring a mix of Indian yellow and olive green. This part over here is gonna start being a little bit in shadow as well. So it's better to put it when it's wet. Bring it all the way till here, and it's making it like if it is a deep. There goes like this, gets deep, and then it gets, that's where we aim it to be. Water, 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 water right away. And this top, because it wasn't wet. And then I switch again to the gold cream. It's already, just by putting this right here, it's already brightening it up and making more sense. All of this is in shadow, so I don't have to put it yet. I'm gonna bring some olive green, and then I'm gonna put some of that over here. Okay, and then lighter. I mean, not lighter, but soften it up. A gray like the one that I was using there, but darker, obviously. From dark, then I come with only water, and I bring these colors all the way here. I'm gonna leave a little line too. Okay, so now we connected this, we push that even farther. Let's just work a little bit on this, and our painting will be done. Some of this color will come here, like if it is, another plane. And basically, we're gonna darken a few of our shadows. One over here, I'm going with indigo and olive green. So this is darker. It will slightly peak to the top, but for that I will have to go into this direction. Okay, then I continue to put some of that over here, but again, light it up more to the bottom, and then I'm gonna fade it out as I get it out of there. I have a little bit of it here too, and then fade it out. Feeling like a lot of those colors are replicating here and coming here, so the thing is kind of coming together. The whole landscape is coming together very nicely, actually. Some of them will come this way. And then with the gold green only, I go with water and fade it out. Directions, I don't know, maybe they're tractor lines, or maybe they are paths, I don't know. But I like it because look, it's guiding our eyes, it's curving the eyes. I have another one that goes very lightly here, and then it comes a little bit stronger this way. And it makes it actually really pretty. So our eye this way. And if somebody knows what these lines are, I'll be more than happy to know. If somebody can let me know if you know. All right, so if I put these, which are here, makes it down, and then if I go with this one more straight, then I also add to our eye to make it, there it goes, and then it comes down. That's straight, and then it comes down. It's time for our finishing touches. So I wet a little bit of these very, very dark areas and some of these trees. I already did in a couple over here, but I can do a little more. Trying to reach a few highlights. So because I use very thick paint, dark paint, if I drop a little bit of water, allow for the fibers to open, and then just with the tissue go and lift some of those highlights. And I guess let me see if there's any other place I could do it here a little bit too by doing this with a very soft brush. Now I can come and put a little, the slightly hint. This has to be in the dark. The light is getting here, but I can put a little bit of highlights. This is my gold green. I put it where I lifted, and then I can actually bring it all over. Just it will have, I'm glazing it, okay? I'm putting a glaze over it. And a hint, just like we were having it over there, well, a hint of warm and this otherwise cool area. See what's happening? How it's like, oh, it's kind of like a little bit, slightly sun-kissed. That's what we want. Now, because I have a lot of dark colors, if I go with my brush, I just drop in the color. I'm not rubbing, otherwise I will move all that. Light. And it's gonna dry later, as you know. So this is a little bit tougher, stiffer brush. And I just want to regain this highlight here. So I go a couple times. And right now it feels like I just bring in all the color, the dark color. But look what happens. I go straight, then I go with a little bit of paper, and then I get in my highlight back. This kind of cabin is here in the, it's in the shadow, but you don't get to see it too good. So if I go and do the same thing, like a little bit, I'm not going to push as hard as I did in the other one. Just the hint of the structure, like maybe it's a little bit of a highlight coming through, a little bit of the sun, something. Then our eyes is making it up. Just put like if it is maybe a door. Somewhere around here, the one tiny little one here, nothing major. There you go. I got the door, I got this. This is perhaps a little bit too, it's a little crooked. It's bugging me. There you go. And I'm gonna get my dark, my browns and blacks. And then I'm gonna, somehow it seems like I lost my chimney. So I'm gonna reapply it, okay? And then we can just, since I have the color from the chimney, maybe I can put darker one, and usually after the highlight, there's a little bit of a shadow, some of that color. Another glaze, and by glazing over, then actually if I glaze it over there, let's just glaze it over the highlights too, so it doesn't look so white. And then with these little details, we're gonna call this light and shadow painting done. And here it is, our finished landscape, a quiet, kind of lazy afternoon with light and shadows and very few little details, and yet we end up with a painting that has the wow factor that we all like. Now, reference and tracings are at my Patreon. If you want to support the channel, I will leave the link in the description. As always, I thank you for being here. I hope that you learned something out of this video, and I will see you in my next one.